Welcome, Swaglets. It's just me, Swagmaster, dying toad.
I am Swagmaster 49.
It is 4:17 in the morning, and the creative juices have never been flowing quite as much as they are right now. Please, would you like to begin telling me what you were telling me earlier?
Yes, the left kneecap is where the sugar in your body is stored. I am 100% studying to be a doctor. Your brain is just spongy meat that expands every time you think of the word doctor. The left kneecap in your body is where the sugar is stored, and the right one is where all of the unnatural honey is stored in your body.
Consume.
Let me see, where should we go next? The inside of your skin is specifically made of one of three kinds of lettuce, four if you are not human. The first one is romaine. Simple, cheap, variation in taste, is pretty bland. Pretty resistant. If you get stabbed, it might help a little bit. The second is iceberg. An iceberg lettuce is crisp, expensive. It is not resistant at all though. You will die. However, iceberg lettuce also allows for great blood flow because, the blood runs right underneath of the lettuce. Now the third is that you have nothing, which is honestly even worse for protection than iceberg. You are very agile because the iceberg lettuce is quite heavy, so is the romaine. So the nothing is absolutely fantastic because you are speedy and your blood is just zooming. Now, there is a fourth, but they are honestly horrid creations. This is the spinach. Would I shove lettuce in my skin? Absolutely. I am a doctor.
You have 4.5 PhD.
Yes. So I have my doctorate in food science, teaching age, and I'm working on my PhD of medical science.
How can you save the people with spinach? This here is the spinach wall.
We're essentially going to release white blood cells into their bloodstream. These white blood cells will go around and tell all their white blood cells buddy to make some lettuce around here, and they'll begin devouring the spinach they've made for energy. So for a good day, week, month, the patient will probably experience a great deal of hollowness.
How would you help with this hollowness with your medical degree?
If they respond with "I am hollow," I will feed them romaine lettuce.
To walk through this process, as I am not a doctor,
Right.
You talk to your patient, and your patient says, "I am hollow," and then you say, "Shut up."
Right, well, I tell them
and eat this lettuce.
They should stop wasting energy telling me how hollow they feel, and instead devour this lettuce and milk in front of them.
See, okay, now we've entered a new territory where I think that our viewers would be very interested. Are you implying, step 1, you put milk in?
You're really starting to sound like you have spinach in your body right now. The spinach has to go in first. They have to settle. So then with every piece they eat, they are also drinking heavenly milk.
What milk is best for fueling your eyes?
So as we've discussed before, the sugar in your body is stored within your left kneecap.
I see.
A very thin stream of it is sent upwards through your body, straight to your spongy meat brain. The milk fills these shells.
Now, what different colors are there for spongy meat brain?
Well, I mean, there sure are a lot of common ones, such as brown, blue, green.
How do it work?
So, for instance, if you have we'll say a brown meat brain, beefish, you'll crave meat a lot more often. When you have, like, a green meat brain, you'll want to be a lot more vegetarian. The blue meat brain, it's just the perfect in-between. Everybody knows that brown plus green equals blue. You want meat. You want plant.
How do I know for a fact that I will not have, or that my family or anyone that I care about might not be a secret spinach person?
So in order to tell that somebody's a spinach person, you look them dead in the eye and you say, "Are you a spinach person?" And they may tell you no. Their eyes turn slightly green because the spinach has worked its way. That awful chlorophyll has worked its way into the milky pieces of your eye. It happened to my third wife.
What were the stages of her descent?
Well, I think one day we went to the store, and instead of buying Kraft mac and cheese, because she knows Kraft mac and cheese is one of my favorite things to eat, she looked at me and said, I I do not like the taste of Kraft mac and cheese. It does not please taste buds. I was like, Marion, are you a spinach person? And it was very quick, but the veins in her cheeks flashed green.
Do you think that if I wore wet or dry noodles constantly, if I laced my clothes with noodles,
Okay.
would this protect me from spinach?
So I think if you managed to find some of the silkiest noodles and you weaved it into your clothing and a spinach person touched you, I think they would pull back really fast.
Thank you so much for educating us today on the kneecaps
Yes.
and the dangers of the spinach. I had no idea I was in so much danger from this terrible leafy green. I thought that it was a myth. Right before we leave, I feel like we should do what Swagmaster 69 would do. We gotta do an art is. And I think that today, art is spinach. It can be terrible, but with right injections, you can turn that spinach into beautiful romaine.